was 3, drove 100,000 miles on my knees. Hauled marbles and rocks and thought twice before I hauled a Barbie doll bed for the girl next door. She tried to pay me with a kiss and I began to understand there's something women like about a pickup man. When I turned 16, I saved a few $100. My first car was a pickup truck. I was cruising the town and the first girl I see was Bobby Joe Gentry, the homecoming queen. She flagged me down and climbed up in the cab and said, I never knew you were a pickup man. You can set my truck on fire and roll it down a hill, and I still wouldn't trade it for a Coupe de Ville. I got an 8-foot bed that never has to be made. You know, if it weren't for trucks, we wouldn't have tailgates. I met all my wives in traffic jams and just something women like about a pickup man. Most Friday.
Good morning and welcome to Jackson College in today's Region 12 Baseball Championship game between the Cuyahoga Community College Triceratops and the Macomb Community College Monarchs. The National Junior College Athletic Association and Jackson College promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We appreciate your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Negative comments, profanity, racist, sexist, or other abusive comments or actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the facility. Jackson College wishes to thank you for your support and cooperation. Now please stand for the national anthem.
Day 2 of the Region 12 Baseball Championship here in Jackson, Michigan. It's the 2-seeded and 22nd ranked Macomb Community College Monarchs taking on the Cuyahoga Community College Triceratops. Jack Vohwinkle here to bring you all the action live from Jackson College. Like I mentioned earlier, Game 2 of the tournament and Game 1 of the 3-game set we have here this afternoon. On the mound for the Monarchs today is number 12, Greg Burns. Freshman started 10 of 10 games and appearances this season so far. ERA just north of 5 at 5.23. He's got a 4-3 record on the 2026 campaign. The righty looks to wheel and deal today for the men in white. Around the horn defensively for the Monarchs. Diebel at first, Leonard at second, Matthews at short, Miller at third, Zito, Stout, and Grindy from left to right respectively in the outfield, and Morrison behind the dish will catch for Burns here this afternoon. Batting order for Cuyahoga here in this contest. Jameer Ross will lead things off, followed by Nate Hill. Vinny Gallagher batting third. In cleanup, A.J. Trobenter. Batting fifth, Diddy Farrell. Sixth, Jackson Bowles. Seventh, Jacob Jones. Braden Bortnick in the 8 spot. And Nash Drenger in the 9 hole. Up to the plate now is Jameer Ross. Batting .419 on the year is the center fielder for Tri-C. First pitch from Burns. Swung on and foul tipped. 11 a.m. even. First pitch here at Jackson College. Winner of this game moves on to face the winner of Kellogg and Grand Rapids. That game taking place a half an hour after the conclusion of this one. The loser moves on to play 6-seeded Henry Ford tonight at 6 p.m. in the third game of 3 here on this Thursday in Summit Township. Count now sits 0-2 in favor of Greg Burns. Winds the arm, fires, swing and a miss. He got him. 3 strikes for Greg Burns. And down swinging goes Jameer Ross to kick things off here this afternoon. Brings up Nate Hill, the lefty, steps up, leads this team in home runs with 11, the best power bat that the Triceratops have to offer. The 0-0 shows bunt, pulls back. This pitch fades outside for ball 1.
Number 9, Nate Hill.
Cuyahoga comes into this game with a 31-16 record overall. Winners over the OCCAC with a 13-3 record in conference play. Check swing, foul tips this one off down the third base line. Count now sits 1-1 here against Nate Hill. Hill batting .369 on the season for Cuyahoga. Native of Medina, Ohio, the sophomore. Today for Tri-C. Here's the 1-1 from Burns. Pitch goes low. Now the count sits 2 balls, 1 strike from the righty Monarch. Burns looking to get off to a hot start here in Macomb's first game of this tournament. The 2-seeded Monarchs looking to back up their regular season success with some postseason success here at Jackson College. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Burns' pitch sits low. Now the count goes full against Nate Hill. Full count pitch ensues from Burns. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Greg Burns to kick things off. Brings up Vinny Gallagher, first baseman here today for the Triceratops. Lefty batting .396 on the year, just south of 4. A.J. Trobenter and Jameer Ross, the only 2 hitters in this lineup today for Cuyahoga, batting above .400. Takes this first pitch inside and low for ball 1. And Burns holds a 4-3 record this year so far in the win-loss column. Looking to wind and fire this pitch, and this one fades outside for ball 2. Now ahead of the count is Gallagher. Gallagher manning the first base bag today for the Triceratops. We're led by Nick Kaplak, their head coach. This pitch winds its way back into the strike zone for strike 1. Burns looking to shut down this Tri-C offense. The pitch just low of the zone for ball 3. Got some work to do now to climb out of this 3-1 hole. And Gallagher has the advantage. Burns winds, fires inside for ball 4. The first base runner of the day for the Triceratops is Vinny Gallagher as he trots over to first base. A.J. Trobenner now up to the plate. A lefty catcher, best average in this batting lineup here for Tri-C. Batting at .444 on the year. Another Ohio native in this roster, freshman. 17 RBIs on the year, first big cut for number 29 is a swing and a miss. Greg Burns has the 0-1 advantage now in the count. Balk there from Greg Burns will advance the runner to second base. Count still sits 0-1 on A.J. Trobenner. But now Cuyahoga has a runner in scoring position here in the top of this first inning. Burns winds and fires this one, fouled back and knocking off the top of the Macomb dugout. Ducking out of the way were the players there for the Monarchs. Now the count sits 0-2 on A.J. Trobenner here with 2 outs in the top of the first. Back-to-back strikeouts to kick things off for Greg Burns. He walked Gallagher. Now Gallagher sits at second base. From the walk from Burns, here's the 0-2. Got him looking! 3 strikeouts in the first inning for Greg Burns. He's feeling it, and the Monarch bats look to back things up here in the bottom of the first when we come back on the Region 12 Sports TV Network.
Third base, number 9, Nate Hill. At first, number 5, Vinny Gallagher. At catcher, number 29, A.J. Trobenner. In right field, number 3, Diddy Carroll. At DH, Jackson Bowles. At second, number 42, Jacob Jones. At shortstop, number 48, Braden Worknick. In the left field, number 26, Nate Granger. And starting on the bump, number 27, Ryan Turok.
Back here in Jackson, Michigan. Jackson College, the site for the Region 12 tournament. Bottom of the first. Here for the Macomb Community College bats. Number 22 ranked Monarchs come into this game on an absolute heater, winning the regular season championship in the NJCAA East outright for the first time since 1987. They've shared the 2024 and 25 titles with a couple of other squads, so it's their third regular season championship in a row, but the first one outright since 1987. On the mound here for the Cuyahoga Triceratops, Ryan Turok, the sophomore, ERA just south of 6, 5.91. He's got a 5-0 unblemished record in the win-loss column, 69 strikeouts on the campaign so far. Strikes out a lot of batters, has serious command early on, but he's been wheeling and dealing for the Triceratops so far this season. He's up against the best bat contact-wise in this lineup, Marwin Matthews Jr., the shortstop, steps up. The righty takes this first pitch in the zone for strike one. Marwin Matthews trying to get the bats going early here for Macomb. The 0-1 pitch from Turok misses the zone for ball one. This one grounded up the middle, played by Bortnick. Throw over to first was high and away from him. Matthews able to scamper back to first base safely, and the errant throw from Bortnick over the head of Gallagher gives the Monarchs their first base runner here of the afternoon. That'll bring up Peyton Rich, the designated hitter today for the Monarchs. After Matthews reaching on that fielding error. Trobenter behind the dish for the Triceratops as the 0-0 from Torak finds the zone for strike one. Marwin Matthews Jr. again sits on first base here for Macomb. Dugout getting loud. Throw back to first. Matthews able to slide back safely. Head first dive back to the first base bag. Pickoff attempt from Torak to Gallagher. Does not pay off. It's still no balls, one strike, the count here against Peyton Rich. This pitch finds the zone once more for strike two. 0-2 count from Torak here, the sophomore. In black for Tri-C. Trying to knock out his first batter, the 0-2. Blooper into the air, running underneath it. Can they locate it? And it gets down in the outfield. Diddy Farrell lost control of the baseball in the sky. Poor communication between him and Jones from second. Now Macomb's in business here with a couple of base runners. Nobody away here in the bottom of the first. Zach Grindy steps up to the plate now. Lefty right fielder for Macomb. Batting .312 on the campaign so far. And the winner of this game takes on the winner of Kellogg and Grand Rapids. That game taking place just after this one, a half an hour. First pitch of the at-bat into the zone for strike one. Loser takes on Henry Ford. Lost yesterday's contest to Grand Rapids Community College by a score of 7-5. Henry Ford held a 5-3 lead heading into the bottom of the eighth before a two-out rally thanks to GRCC. Tied the game and gave them the lead. That was for good as they were able to escape with that 7-5 victory to move on. Count now sits 0-2 against Zach Grindy. Right fielder looks on. 2 on and nobody out for the Monarchs here. Pitch fades outside for ball one. Torak seen these guys before early on in this season. Second appearance so far of the year against Macomb. Right now in some trouble though. Macomb's got some base path action. And nobody away to show for it for Tri-C. This count now evens up at 2 apiece as Grindy's been able to climb out of the 0-2 hole. On deck for the Monarchs is Aiden Miller. He looks on and awaits the 2-2 count from Torak against Zach Grindy. This pitch just misses the zone and the count goes full. What a way to battle back by Zach Grindy and use that discipline at the plate to climb out of that 0-2 hole. Rich at first, Matthews at second. Grindy awaits the full count pitch from Ryan Torak. Sophomore looks back to second, winds and fires, and it's outside from 0-2. Loads the count up and now takes first base, and they're juiced for Macomb with nobody away here in the bottom of the first.
At third base, number 8, Aiden Miller.
Matthews reaches on an error. Rich singles into right, and now Grindy forces the walk to load him up for Macomb. Brings up Aiden Miller in a massive spot here early in this game. Just the bottom of the first inning. Already 3 base runners for Macomb so far. Aiden Miller, the EMU transfer, batting .333 on the year, playing third base today for the men in white. Count now sits 1-0 from Ryan Torak. Miller trying to get some action on the scoreboard here early for MCC. Frame job by Trobenner. Pops this one back into the zone for strike one. Bases juiced. 1 ball, 1 strike. Macomb trying to bounce early here on the Triceratops, who have made the trip all the way down. As this pitch falls into the dirt for ball 2. Cuyahoga County, the most populous county in the state of Ohio. Home to the city of Cleveland on the banks of Lake Erie. The 2-1. Just outside the zone. Nice eye right there from the righty Miller. Count now sits 3-1, and Torok's got to be careful here to not walk in the first run of the afternoon. Placement has got to be on the top of his mind right now for the sophomore on the mound. Righty looks on. The 3-1, this pitch high of the zone, and the first run of the game scored by the Monarchs is walked right in as Marwin Matthews Jr. crosses the plate to make this one 1-0 favoring Macomb. Now there's going to be a meeting of the minds here at the mound for Ryan Torok, as he has really lost his footing here early in this game. Marvin Matthews reached on an error. Peyton Rich singled. Zach Grindy able to walk it on, and then Aiden Miller able to walk it on home. Bases still juiced for Macomb. Still nobody away. Right now, Evan Morrison is going to step up to the plate next here for the Monarchs. The catcher looking to add to the damage that Macomb's already been able to produce here in this first inning. Morrison, Macomb, Michigan native, stands 6'3". The freshman in another big spot here for the Monarchs. Best on-base percentage in this lineup. He stands tall and awaits the pitch from Torok, who's hoping that the conversation he was just able to have with his coaches and teammates is going to pay off here. Still nobody away. Macomb still up 1-0 here in this first inning. First pitch of the at-bat misses from Torok. Struggle to command the zone. Right now for 27 on the mound. Again, holds an unblemished record. 5-0 so far is Torok in this campaign. The 1-0 pitch. That one's in the zone to even the count up. Macomb was able to defeat Mott Community College in the first round of this tournament to advance here to Jackson. Pitch outside for ball 2. 2 straight walks. Grindy and Miller were able to both get on base. Now Torok's got to be careful here to not keep that one going. The 2-1, that one falls inside. Now he's a pitch away, and a ball away, I should say, from walking in a second consecutive run. Got to be careful here to make sure this doesn't start looking like Reds Pirates a couple of weeks ago. Three balls, 1 strike. This pitch inside, and it walks home another one for Macomb. Monarchs force 3 straight walks, and it results in 2 straight runs scored, and it's 2-0. MCC. Grindy, Miller, and Morrison all given free passes on to the bags. And Macomb off to a hot start here. Just in terms of on-base percentage, but not necessarily putting balls in play, but they necessarily haven't had to. Ryan Torok giving them all that they need. That pitch found the zone, though, 4-strike 1. Torok wheels and deals. That one misses. Count goes even. Torok, 23 pitches here today. Only 9 of them have been strikes. That's, of course, resulted in this 2-0 lead so far for Macomb. Triceratops trying to find their footing already, down 2-0 to the Monarchs. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Up to the plate now is Buster Diebel, batting .369 on the season. First baseman here today for Macomb Community College. 36-15 overall record for MCC coming into this one. 20-5 in conference play, and again won the regular season. This one chopped grounder to shortstop Bortnick. Throw to second. He dropped it. But he dropped it on the transfer. And so they will rule him out at second. Reaching on a fielder's choice is Diebel. So for Macomb, the run drove home as well. Now it's 3-0 favoring the Monarchs, as Diebel is able to do his job, get on board. And the ball at second base from Jones, dropped on the transfer, so still recorded as an out on the second bag. Runners at the corners now for the Monarchs with only one away. Lachlan Stout up to the plate now for the Monarchs. Center fielder for Macomb Community College. This pitch fades low. 2-0 the count now on Lachlan Stout. Stout, the Clarkston, Michigan native, stands 6'2", the redshirt freshman. 9 home runs on the season for Lachlan Stout. He can really crank it if he gets a hold of it. That pitch falling back into the zone for a strike. Monarchs have won 15 straight. Entering this tournament today in Summit Township. Count now goes 3-1 from Torok. Every at-bat so far today has been productive for the Monarchs. Stout trying to keep that streak alive. The 3-1 is chopped. Foul down the third baseline, and the count goes full. $3-0 the score. You can see for Macomb Community College the advantage early on over Cuyahoga. The Triceratops and the man on the mound, Ryan Torok, really lost their footing, but trying to regain that here. This one a bouncer into the dirt. Wild pitch, run comes home. And Macomb Community College up 4-0 here in this first inning. Lachlan Stout will scamper on over to first. And the man with arguably the best name here in either lineup for the Triceratops or the Monarchs, Vito Zito. Up to the plate now, number 20, left fielder. Batting .360 on the season so far. Now runners at first and second. Still only one away here for Macomb Community College. Zito looks the 0-0 on. Fades outside the zone for ball one. Torok needs to find his footing here. This one could get well out of hand for the Triceratops. Cuyahoga with some high expectations entering this tournament. They've got a hole to climb out of now. Again, it is double elimination, so you do have 2 chances in this tournament at Jackson College. The loser has a long way to go if you find yourself down there in the loser's bracket. 2-0 the count now from Torok on Vito Zito. Vito Zito, left fielder here for Macomb. Another Macomb, Michigan native. Batting .361 on the season so far. Toss back to second. Is not in time, and slide back there safely is Buster Diebold. Vito Zito trying to crank one in play here to continue the onslaught for Macomb. Already leading 4-0 this pitch. Rises back into the zone for strike two. Count now goes even on Vito Zito. Reminds me of Vita Vea. Or Barry Zito, yes, absolutely. Vita Vea for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Vito Zito goes down swinging. Torak, his first strikeout of the afternoon. And Brett Leonard is up to the plate now. With 2 away here, and if Leonard can put the ball in play and get himself on base, Macomb will have already in this first inning batted around. Brett Leonard, another Eastern Michigan transfer. Batting .333 on the year so far, the second baseman for the Monarchs. The 0-0. Outside for ball one. 56-degree day here in Summit Township. High of 64. We'll probably reach that at the conclusion of the second game here this afternoon, heading into the third. 1-0 pitch. Down low. And Brett Leonard looks on. Make the count 2-0 from Torak. Last strikeout was Torak's 70th of the year. Got the all-important second out here to try to stop the bleeding from Macomb, who already leads 4-0 in this first inning. The 2-0 outside again. Now Brett Leonard's a pitch away from being able to load the bases up once more. Pitch count. Well higher than Torak would have liked here at this point in the game. Only the first inning. As this pitch is inside for a ball. Loading him up once more is Brett Leonard taking the free pass. And it brings up Marwin Matthews Jr. as Macomb's already batted around for his second at-bat of the inning.
Number 2, Marwin Matthews Jr.
5 walks here already for Torak in this first. First pitch of the at-bat outside for a ball. Travis Dean warming up the arm in the pen for Cuyahoga. Coach is coming out right now, and it looks like they're going to give Dean the nod. And all signs point to the freshman out of the pen to get Cuyahoga out of this inning. As a less than ideal start today for Ryan Torak. Is going to end in his appearance, ending in the first inning. When we come back from break, we'll see Travis Dean sling it from the mound and try to get the Triceratops back in the right direction. Bases juiced right now from Macomb. 2 away here still in the bottom of the first. Back here in Summit Township at Jackson College, Mason Wolf actually going to get the nod out of the pen. It was Wolf and Dean both warming up on that right-hand side for the Triceratops, but the sophomore going to sling it from the mound for Tri-C. 4.05 ERA this season and 20 innings pitched. He's got a 1-1 record in the win-loss column. 28 strikeouts, 16 balls. Monarchs have already batted around here in this first inning of play. They lead 4-0 with 2 away, and it brings up Marwin Matthews Jr., who reached on an error to kick things off in this crazy bottom of the first for Macomb. Matthews Jr. steps up to the plate. 409 hitter on the year for Macomb. Leads the team in average. 20 runs batted in. On-base percentage just south of 50%. Chops this one over to the second baseman, Jones. Flip to second is in time, and the Triceratops are able to get out of the inning. And Mason Wolf is able to do his job, at least for now, and stop the bleeding, as it is still 4-0, favoring the Monarchs. Top of the second coming up next. Triceratop bats trying to get themselves back in it when we return. Region 12 TV Network. Back here at Jackson College. Top of the second here. And Cuyahoga Triceratop bats trying to muster something to compare to Macomb's onslaught. With only 1 hit in the bottom of the first, they were able to plate 4 runs, forcing 6 walks off the arm of Ryan Torok. Still cooking on the mound for the Monarchs is Greg Burns. And Diddy Farrell up to the plate. Between Diddy Farrell and Vito Zito, we've got a battle. Some solid names here. Cuyahoga and the Monarchs. Count now sits 1-2 on Diddy Farrell from the arm of Greg Burns. 1-2 pitch. Just low of the zone for ball 2, evens things up. 3 strikeouts in that first inning from Greg Burns on Jameer Ross, Nate Hill, and A.J. Trobenner. Vinny Gallagher was able to reach on a walk. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Greg Burns feeling it from the mound. 4 strikeouts and 5 batters to kick things off here in Jackson. Diddy Farrell trots back to the dugout and brings up the lefty Jackson Bulls. Designated hitter today for the Triceratops. 0-0 from Burns. Off-speed stuff misses outside for ball 1. Burns trying to keep the heat from the mound. That pitch reaches the zone for strike 1. One pitch outside for 2 balls, 1 strike against Jackson Bulls. Another Ohio native on this Coya team is Jackson Bowles. 3-1. Now the count sits against Greg Burns. Again, Tri-C won their conference, the OCCAC, with a 13-3 regular season record. That pitch misses the zone for ball 4, and Bowles will take his first base of the afternoon.
Second baseman, number 42, Jacob.
2 strikeouts, a walk. 2 strikeouts, a walk is the pattern so far for Greg Burns. That's going to bode well here against Jacob Jones, if he can stay a part of what he's been doing here this afternoon. 1 away in this inning. First pitch of the at-bat in the zone for strike 1. Umpires here this afternoon, Nick Kabitsky is behind the dish, Mike Delmon at first, and Jacob Pope sits up by that second base bag. 0-1 pitch. Winds its way back, but just low of the zone. Count evens up. Macomb's brought a solid following in those left-hand side bleachers. Significantly less drive from Macomb, Michigan than it is from down in Ohio, as this ball will bounce into the outfield, get down for a base hit off the bat of Jacob Jones. He has the first base knock of the afternoon for Cuyahoga. Braden Bortnick now up to the plate. Righty steps up with a couple of runners on, only 1 away here for Tri-C. Cuyahoga Community College, the only collegiate team at any level in the entire 50 states to have their mascot be the Triceratops. NCAA, NAIA, Division 2, 3, 4, whatever you want to call it. The only collegiate team with a Triceratops as their mascot. Count now sits 1-0 against Greg Burns. Here wheeling and dealing to Braden Bortnick. Bortnick batting .372 on the campaign so far. Burns found his stuff real early in this one. 2 straight strikeouts began the contest for the freshman on the mound of Macomb. So far, only 2 base runners here in this inning for Cuyahoga. Inning prior, Macomb batted all the way around. Gave Marwin Matthews Jr. 2 chances at the plate. Right now, Bortnick in the 8 spot for Cuyahoga. Burns looks on. Winds and fires the 1-2 that sits high at the zone. On deck is Nash Drenger for Cuyahoga, left fielder. In the 9-hole for the teal and black. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count from Burns. Runner on first and second. This one bounced into right field, settling underneath it, trying to make the overhead catch, and can't is Grindy. Returning back to first safely is Braden Bortnick, but now the bases are juiced for the Triceratops here in the top of the second inning with only 1 away. That'll bring up Nash Drenger.
Left fielder, number 26, Nash Drenger.
Drenger playing in left field today for the Triceratops. Now Tri-C tries to get something cooking to match Macomb's efficiency in the first inning. Drenger batting .306 on the campaign. This one a chop grounder. Tossed to second. Relay to first. Is it in time? They got him! Matthews to Leonard to D-Bull. Double play. Inning over. And the jam is avoided by Greg Burns. Monarchs are fired up, and for good reason, as the Triceratops leave them loaded here in the top of the second. Monarch bats trying to back up what they were able to produce in the first inning when we return. Region 12 Sports TV Network. back here at Jackson College. Another pitching change. Number 21, Travis Dean on the mound here for Cuyahoga. So he stands tall for Tri-C. Already their third pitcher here. Mason Wolf, through one pitch, recorded the last out of that treacherous first inning for the Triceratops. Now he's been immediately replaced in this inning by Travis Dean, the freshman. 8.10 ERA for Dean on the campaign. Only 16 innings pitched so far this season. 16 strikeouts, averaging a K an inning here as the 0-0 pitch is a grounder to the second baseman. Throw over to first. A little tosser in time from Jones to Gallagher. First out of the inning on the first pitch from Travis Dean.
After that, number 5, Zach Grindy.
That's who that is. Different jersey. It's actually going to be David Moore on the mound here for the Triceratops. Listed in the roster, Travis Dean wearing 21. David Moore usually wears 15. Today wearing 21. For David Moore, 5-2 record on the year, 56 strikeouts, 45 innings pitched. Leads this team. Top 5 ERA on the team with a 380 mark in that category. Zach Grindy up to the plate. Now he walked in his first plate appearance. He was one of 4 consecutive walks that got Macomb on the scoreboard early in the first. David Moore winding, firing. This one chopped, grounder to first. Toss over to Moore, running from the mound, foot on the bag, and makes the play. 2 quick outs here for the Triceratops, and that's exactly what you were looking for to try to bounce back after that inning, where 4 runs were allowed for the Triceratops. Aiden Miller up to the plate now for the Monarchs. Takes his first pitch in the zone for strike 1. Batting .333 on the season is Miller. Third baseman today also walked in his first plate appearance. Drove in that first run thanks to that free pass. 0-1 pitch. This one's low, ducking out of the way is Aiden Miller from David Moore. Moore, the sophomore, on the mound right now for Tri-C, third pitcher of the game so far for the Teal and Black. 1-1 count with 2 away. Triceratops trying to chip away at this already 4-0 deficit. The 1-1 swung on and missed. Big time cut right there from Aiden Miller. After a treacherous inning, 3 straight groundouts from Matthew Rich and Grindy puts us right here. The latter 2 happening in this inning to get the 2 outs that are on the scoreboard. The 1-2 pitch inside. This pitching staff for Cuyahoga. 11.48 Ks per 9, which is 3rd nationally. This one's driven up the middle. Backhand play could not be made by Jones. And getting on base safely is Aiden Miller with a base knock into center field.
Now batting number 38, Evan Morrison.
Aiden Miller follows up his walk in his first at-bat with a base hit into center field. That brings up Evan Morrison, the catcher here for the Monarchs, batting .361 on the year. Morrison lines this one into open space in left field. This could be extra bases if he wants it. Rounding first, sticking around at third, putting the foot on the bag is Aiden Miller. And it's a 2-out double for Evan Morrison here in the second. Buster steps up to the plate now. reaching a fielder's choice in his first at-bat that also resulted in a run crossing home for Macomb. It's their third run of the inning. Lachlan Stout on deck right now. He was the last walk of that inning. That also pulled a run across the plate to make it 4-0, the score that we have currently here in Jackson. Runners on second and third. 2 away here in a big spot for Diebel. Macomb trying to add to the damage. This pitch sits low. Ball 1. Significantly nicer weather here today than there was yesterday. Almost 60 degrees and sunny, the 1-1 outside. Wind a little less than yesterday. Topped out at 16 mile an hour sustained winds. Today only 12 to 13 mile an hour. It's bound to settle down as we wind towards the end of our afternoon evening here in Jackson. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, blooped into the outfield, and it's going to get down for a base hit. 1 run will come home. That's Miller. Morrison trying to make it 2. Sliding in safely, successfully. 6-0 the score, favoring the Monarchs. As it's a 2-out, 2 RBI knock for Buster Diebel.
Now batting number 34,
Lachlan Stout. Lachlan Stout. Up to the plate now for Macomb. 2 outs in this inning so far. Sitting at first right now is Buster Diebel. 2 RBIs in that last plate appearance. This one popped over to the glove of Gallagher. Takes a couple steps from first base and makes the catch to get out of the inning, but not before the 2-out, 2 RBI single from Buster Diebel drove home 2 more runs from Macomb, and it's already 6-0 as we advance here in Game 1 of 3 this Thursday afternoon. When we return, we'll have some more baseball between the Monarchs and the Triceratops next on the Region 12 Sports Network. Jameer Ross up for the second time this afternoon, facing off against Greg Burns. Burns has found his footing so far in this game. Monarchs lead 6-0 here over Cuyahoga, only in the 3rd inning. Pitch misses low for the 2-0 count. Ross struck out in his first at-bat. The center fielder was one of 4 strikeouts to begin the game through 5 batters for Greg Burns. This one fouled off into the netting for the first strike of the at-bat. Jameer Ross, the Dayton, Ohio native. Again, batting .419 on the season, 5 long balls, 40 RBIs, and on-base percentage just north of .550 at .553. This pitch settles outside the zone for ball 3. Three balls, one strike. The pitch from Burns inside, and Jameer Ross will take the 5-pitch walk, free pass over to the first base bag. Third walk of the day so far for Greg Burns. 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. 6-0 lead here for the Monarchs. Up to the plate now is Nate Hill. He also struck out. He was the latter half of those back-to-back strikeouts to begin the day for Greg Burns. Third baseman today for Cuyahoga. He leads this team in total home runs, arguably the best power bat in this lineup. Got 11 of them on the year. Also reaches base a fair amount, too. Best on-base percentage in this entire lineup as well. He flies this one out to center field. Settling underneath it is Stout. Looking, making the catch. Returning to first is Jameer Ross. And there's one away here in this inning. Nice positioning out there for Stout in center field. Nate Hill's going to want that one back as he got a little too much underneath it. And it brings up Vinny Gallagher, first baseman today for Cuyahoga. One away here in this inning. This one swung on and fouled back into the parking lot. Look out, cars. That one bounces safely of any automobile damage here at Jackson College. Monarchs on a heater in the win streak column. So they entered this game on a win streak of 15. I'm already in business to try to push that to 16. Yesterday, Grand Rapids Community College entered the contest on a 16-game win streak. Of course, beat Henry Ford 7-5, so that's now been pushed to 17, and they look to continue that in the second game here today against Kellogg. Kellogg Bruins, the new #1 team in the entire country, taking place 30 minutes after this game or 2:30. Game time will take place at 2:30 regardless if this one ends quickly. Fouled back into the netting, staying alive. This at-bat is Vinny Gallagher, protecting with the 0-2 count. Gallagher walked in his first at-bat. He was down 0-2 in his first at-bat as well, able to climb all the way back out of that hole and force the free pass. Toss over to first. Back safely is Jameer Ross. Looks on, the 0-2, runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second, can they get 2? He's in there safely. But a strikeout for Vinny Gallagher. Runner advances, there's 2 away, and Jameer Ross finds himself on second base. 5th strikeout of the afternoon so far for Greg Burns. Led the team coming into this game in strikeouts with 66. He's now up to 71 on the campaign. He has looked real good here as we sit right now in the top of the 3rd. First pitch of that at-bat to A.J. Trobenner, player of the week here in this region. The catcher looks on, swing and a miss, now down quickly 0-2 once more. Greg Burns finding his stuff, inside, outside, off-speed, fastball, you name it. Greg Burns has got it going from the mound right now. Wind blowing in the air. Dugout getting fired up. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Greg Burns on full effect right now from the mound. 12 in white. Walks back to the dugout with some swagger as Macomb leads 6-0 here still over Tri-C. When we return, the Macomb Bats trying to back up Greg Burns' impressive performance on the mound. That's next, right here on the Region 12 Sports TV Network. Back here at Jackson College, Jack Vohwinkle here on the Region 12 Sports TV Network to bring you all the action live. 6-0 the score. Macomb leading Cuyahoga. These two community colleges are battling it out on the field here at the home of the Jackson Jets. David Moore entering his second inning of work for Cuyahoga. He replaced the starter for the Triceratops in Ryan Torak, who really struggled in that first inning. Lost his command early, walked 6 of 8 batters after Marvin Matthews led things off in the first inning, reaching on an error. And now Vito Zito, who struck out in his first plate appearance, the lone strikeout today for Ryan Torak before his afternoon came to a close. And the 0-0 pitch inside the zone from David Moore. Macomb trying to build on the lead here in this game. Bottom of the third inning for the Monarch Bats. Vito Zito looks on the pitch, misses the zone. Winner gets to advance into the winner's bracket. Loser has to play tonight at 6 p.m. against Henry Ford, the loser of last night's game against Grand Rapids Community College. That pitch fades back into the zone for strike 2. On deck is Brett Leonard here for the Monarchs. As he looks on to watch his teammate in Vito Zito foul that one back. Staying alive is Vito Zito. Call him VZ. Trying to put the ball in play here at Jackson College. An already 6-0 lead. Chopped foul. Third base coach makes a nice barehanded grab. Toss back to the dugout. Buster Diebold in the last inning, able to played home a couple of runs. This pitch misses the zone, down in the dirt. Nice stop by Trobender behind the dish. Morrison and Miller are able to trot home thanks to the bat of Buster Diebold. Those are the last 2 runs scored for Macomb. 4 in the first, 2 in the second, and now working here are the bats in the third. Is that pitch a called third strike? And Vito Zito will walk back to the dugout. A strikeout swinging and a strikeout looking to start things off. 0 for 2 for VZ. Brings up Brett Leonard. He was able to walk in his first at-bat. Eastern Michigan transfer, batting .333 on the year. First pitch. Makes the count go 1-0 on Leonard. Leonard, big cut and a miss right there. Stands 5'8", does Brett Leonard. Freshman this year for the Macomb Monarchs. Michigan native, swing and a miss. 2 strikes now against Leonard here in this at-bat. Again, was able to force a walk in his first plate appearance of this contest so far. The 1-2, tried to frame it up, was Trobenner. Missed. Count goes even. Leonard's 6th forced walk of the season came in his last at-bat. He fouls that pitch off to stay alive. Count still even at 2-2. Leonard awaits the 2-2 pitch from David Moore, who winds the arm, fires. This one sent out to center field. Backtracking, lost control. The ball in center field was Ross. It'll be extra bases for Brett Leonard as he scampers into second base with a 1-out double. Ross lost control of the ball. Could have been sun, could have been wind. Nonetheless, it's a double for Brett Leonard as he puts himself in scoring position to bring up the top of the order already 2 times through. This lineup is Macomb. Marwin Matthews Jr. up to the plate for the 3rd time this afternoon. Brett Leonard's 3rd hit of the season against Cuyahoga was that double moments ago. Marwin Matthews looks on, reached on an error in his first at-bat, grounded out in his second at-bat. That pitch finds the zone for a strike from David Moore. Moore, the 3rd pitcher that the Triceratops have used here this afternoon, winds and fires the 1-1. This one grounded over to Jones. Toss over to Gallagher at first. Runner advances. Now there's 2 away here for Macomb. Runner and Brett Leonard over to third. Marwin Matthews, a 2nd straight ground out here in this contest. Peyton Rich up to the plate now, the designated hitter for the Monarchs, and head coach Nick Caruso. Graduate of Youngstown State, leading this Monarch team into the postseason with some high hopes here in Jackson. 1-0, the count now sits on Peyton Rich. Watches that pitch find the zone to even things up. Rich with a single in his first at-bat. This one a hopper down the third base line, and it will get into the outfield and drive home Brett Leonard. Macomb now leads 7-0 here over Cuyahoga as Peyton Rich with a nice lucky bounce into the outfield drives home a run and builds on the advantage here from Macomb. Puts Peyton Rich 2 for 3 on the day with a couple of singles. Grounded out in his middle of the 3 at-bats. First pitch to Zach Grindy. The right fielder is inside the zone for strike 1. Grindy's 0 for 2 today. Grindy bounces this one to the second baseman. Toss to second is in time from Jones to the shortstop Bortnick. And that'll be all she wrote for the inning. But another nice piece of hitting with a couple of outs. Brett Leonard able to drive home by Peyton Rich. And that is where we sit right now. 7-0 the score, favoring the Monarchs. When we return, Cuyahoga's trying to find some answers off the bats. That's next, right here in Jackson. back here in Jackson. Up to the plate now for Cuyahoga. It's number 3, Diddy Farrell. Farrell struck out in his first at-bat. Greg Burns still tossing him from the mound. He's been efficient as efficient can be from the hill today for the Monarchs. Farrell in right field today for the Triceratops, who again won their conference and come into this tournament on a nice streak of their own. That pitch from Burns finds the zone for strike 2. Already 6 strikeouts on the afternoon for Greg Burns. Nobody working in the pen for the Monarchs right now. This one grounded over to the third baseman. He mishandled, and Matthews could not make the play over to first to D-Bull. And it's going to be Diddy Farrell popping on base here to kick things off in the inning for the Triceratops. Farrell's knock brings up Jackson Bowles. Lefty in this lineup, designated hitter, batting .325, entering today's contest. Takes first pitch low for ball 1. Second pitch of the at-bat misses again, and now a little bit of a hole for Greg Burns to climb out of here. Behind the dish today for the Monarchs, if you're just joining us, is Morrison. Burns still working from the mound. 6 strikeouts. And counting for Greg Burns. The freshman has found his footing. Runner on first right now for Cuyahoga. Nobody away, swinging a miss right there from Jackson Bowles. Monarchs trying to get the most out of Burns they possibly can here in this first game, and that's going to help right there. Swing and a miss. 7 Ks right now for Greg Burns, and he is hot. The righty continues to toss him well. Brings up Jacob Jones, who had the first hit of the game for the Triceratops. There's a single base knock earlier on in this one in his first at-bat. Righty watches that first pitch fly right by for strike 1. Jones batting .329 on the year for Cuyahoga. Shows bunt, pulls back, pitch misses, count goes even. Freshman, Columbus, Ohio native is Jacob Jones. He lays into this one, pops it up into foul territory. That one's going to fade too far out of play for D-Bull to make a play at it from first. Now the count goes 1-2 here against Jacob Jones. Sitting the top of the 4th right here for Macomb and Cuyahoga. Again, in this double elimination tournament, this one swung on, fouled away. Runner went from first. And Jackson Bowles striking out in his last at-bat. Diddy Farrell, runner on first in question. One away here. Count still sits 1-2 against Jacob Jones. Jones looks on. Morrison behind the dish. Awaits the pitch from Burns. That one settles just outside. Off-speed stuff missed by a hair to even the count at 2 apiece. 60 pitches now is the count for Greg Burns. 36 strikes, 24 balls. This pitch inside to make the count go full against Jacob Jones. Braden Bortnick on deck. Here for the Triceratops. So with one away here, double play is most definitely in play. Runner decides to go. Won't matter though. This pitch inside for ball 4. Now there's 2 runners on, only 1 away. Here for Braden Bortnick as he steps up to the plate, the shortstop for Cuyahoga. Now they're going to go to the mound and have a little visit to talk to Greg Burns, who's pitched so well and efficiently today for the Monarchs. Nobody throwing in the pen yet for Macomb. This is just going to be a nice reset chat for Greg Burns, utilizing as many of the mound visits as they can. Infield disperses from the mound in D-Bull, Leonard, Matthews, and Miller. And Burns will stick right out there here with only 1 away in this inning. 2 runners on, though. Triceratops have a massive hole to climb out of here. We're down 4-0 exiting the first inning. A couple of runs scored in the second for Macomb and then 1 in the third. This pitch fouled off by Braden Bortnick. And this one off the first base coach. That is in frame, so of course you saw that happen, but glad he's okay. No balls, 1 strike. The count now on Braden Bortnick from Greg Burns. 7 Ks today for Burns. He's pitched well here in his 4th inning of work so far for the Monarch starter. Burns looks back to second, fires the 1-1 low. Nice stop by Morrison. And Evan Morrison able to corral it up, keep the runners put, make the count go 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Burns' pitch, grounded over to second. 1 hopper, throw to second, relay to first, not made, tossed down to third for the Monarchs. Leonard toss over to Matthews to get the lead runner out. Runner advances to first off the fielder's choice in Braden Bortnick. And the other runner from second to third advances as well for the Triceratops. So now there's runners on the corners, 2 away here for Tri-C. Nash Drenger up to the plate now for the teal and black. Drenger fouls that one off into the bleachers. Drenger grounded out in his first at-bat here. The left fielder up to the plate now for the Triceratops. Winds the arm, fires the 0-1 into the zone for strike 2 from Burns. Drenger awaits the 0-2 with 2 away, swung on, fouled back. Here in Jackson, day 2 of the Region 12 tournament is underway. 1 game yesterday, 3 today, 3 tomorrow, 1, potentially 2 on Saturday. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, chopper to short, toss to first is not in time. Matthews couldn't fire it over to the first base bag man D-Bull in time, and the Triceratops are on the board for the first time in this contest.
Number 4, Jameer Ross.
Took a serious favorable hop high into the air for Cuyahoga. Unable to run up on it was Matthews in time, and now it brings up Jameer Ross, who struck out and walked in his 2 plate appearances so far in that order this afternoon. Nash Drenger able to drive home the first run for Cuyahoga. Chipping away has got to be the mantra for the Triceratops, but lots of chipping will need to be done. So it looks like there's an issue here with Greg Burns' pitch comm. Gets a new one from the dugout, and he'll return to the mound. Business as usual here momentarily. Oh, 1 the count now sits on Jameer Ross. 2 away here for the Triceratops. No balls. 1 strike. The pitch from Burns goes high. And Diddy Farrell was the run scorer for the Triceratops early on in this one. The 1-1 foul tipped back into foul territory. The count goes 1-2. Jameer Ross is going to have to start protecting here with a couple of strikes on the count. Six hits today for Macomb, 4 for Cuyahoga. Of course, the score is 7-1, as you can see. Two balls, 2 strikes. The count now against Jameer Ross. The runner on first and second with 2 away. The pitch from Burns loads the count up at 3-2. See how much longer they decide to give Burns the nod on the mound. It looks like there could be some potential action in the pen for the Monarchs. Runner goes, the 3-2 fouled away. Of course, the 2 outs here. Runners are going to go. A full count pitch ensues from Greg Burns momentarily. Cuyahoga trying to build off the 1 run they were able to score moments ago. The full count pitch swung on and driven to center field. Backtracking is Stout, making the catch for the 3rd out of the inning, and only holds Cuyahoga to 1 run scored in that inning as the Triceratops strand 2 on base, first and second respectively. When we come back, we will see the Monarch bats to try to build off of their 7-1 lead. That's next with more right here on the Region 12 Sports Radio Network.
Number 8, Aiden Miller.
Aiden Miller to lead things off here in this inning for the Monarchs. Bottom of the 4th is where we stand in the 7-1 game favoring Macomb Community College. Jack Vohwinkle here at the Region 12 tournament to give you all the coverage live from Summit Township, Jackson College. This pitch just missed the noggin for ball one from Moore. Aiden Miller trying to kickstart the offense here for Macomb in the bottom of the fourth, and that's a well-hit ball into the gap in right center field. That could be extra bases and more. Rounding second, he's going to try for three. Aiden Miller trotting all the way down, throw to third, not in time. Sliding in safely is Aiden Miller, and the third baseman for the Monarchs gets a leadoff triple to start things off here in the bottom of the fourth.
Number 38, Evan Morrison.
Aiden Miller's second triple of the season. He puts himself on third base with nobody away here in the bottom of the fourth. Evan Morrison now up to the plate for the Monarchs. Walked in a run in his first at-bat, then doubled in his second. Looking to add to it here with a runner in scoring possession in Miller. Oh, 0-2 pitch is flied out to right center. If this gets down, it could be trouble, and a diving catch in center field by Ross. Run comes home regardless for Macomb. Incredible effort and stuff right there from Ross in center field. Nonetheless, the run drove in home for Macomb, and it's 8-1. 8-1 the score, favoring the Monarchs. First pitch of the at-bat into the zone for strike one. On Buster D-Bull. D-Bull in his last at-bat had a 2-out, 2 RBI single to give Macomb their 5th and 6th run of the game, respectively. Oh, 0-2 pitch misses outside for ball one. This one, swing and a miss. He got him down swinging. D-Bull trots back to the dugout. As Moore is able to get him whiffing at the batter's box, and it brings out Lachlan Stout. Stout walked in his first at-bat, popped out in his second, now looks to add to the action here in his third appearance at the plate. The 0-0 just missed his shoulder high for ball one. Two away in this inning. This one fouled back by Lachlan Stout. Lachlan Stout stands 6'2", native of Clarkston, Michigan. Fouls that pitch off to the right-hand side. Graduated from Clarkston High School. Walked in a run. Mentioned earlier, the 4th run of the game for Macomb. This one hit him, but he swung. And he's gone. That right there is some unfortunate timing for Lachlan Stout. As the umpire behind home plate, Nick Kubitsky, ruled that the bat did make its way over to the plate cleanly. Now they're going to get together to determine whether or not Lachlan Stout will be back to the dugout and we move on, or if Stout will take first base off that hit by pitch. Umpires again, Nick Kabitsky, Mike Delmont, and Jacob Pope. Congregating on the pitcher's mound here in Jackson. 8-1 the score, favoring Macomb. David Moore has thrown 50 pitches so far here this afternoon. And the inning looks like it will be over. When we return, we'll have more baseball next, right here from the Region 12 tournament. 8-1 the score, favoring the Monarchs.
For the Monarchs, number 45, Brendan Prisbicki.
Brendan Prisbicki, the new arm on the mound for Macomb. As he comes in relief of Greg Burns, who pitched a fantastic outing for the Monarchs here. 7 strikeouts for the Macomb starter, but his afternoon has come to a close, and relieving him is Brendan Prisbicki, the 6'2 sophomore. Macomb, Michigan native, so staying home to play his collegiate ball. 4.78 ERA on the year, a 6-3 win-loss record. 49 strikeouts in total on the campaign for 45 in white, as he looks to back up Burns' impressive outing here against Cuyahoga, and he's got a lot
Third baseman, number 9, Nate Hill.
of comfort zone right here for Macomb. 8-1 the score. 7-run lead. You come into this game trying to put this one away here midway through this first contest. Nate Hill up to the plate now for Cuyahoga. Power bat lefty looks on. Prisbicki's first pitch into the zone for strike one. Quick wind and fire for Prisbicki. This one a grounder down the first baseline and mishandled by D-Bull. This is going to be extra bases. Rounding first and trotting into second safely is Nate Hill. His 0 for 2 day now moves to 1 for 3, and Nate Hill is able to find himself on base with a no-out knock. The official ruling of that for Nate Hill will be a fielding error by the first baseman D-Bull. So Hill's able to advance to second on a fielding error. No hits yet today for Nate Hill. So that one officially ruled an error. Vinny Gallagher now up to the plate for Cuyahoga. Just south of 400 batting average, 396 for number 5. He lines this one out to center field. Running underneath it and making the catch is Lachlan Stout. And he's able to retire Gallagher for the first out of the inning and keep Nate Hill stationary at second. A.J. Trobenner, the catcher, up to the plate now for Cuyahoga. He rips this one out to right field. Tracking, making the grab is the right fielder Grindy. Throw all the way down to the cutoff man. No toss to third. Runner advances. So Nate Hill finds himself just a little bit closer to scoring that second run for Cuyahoga. But it's going to be tough to do here with 2 outs, as there's got to be a ball on the ground and in play in order to make sure Hill can cross home plate. couple of flyouts here for Prisbicki so far. This one popped over into foul territory. Count sits 0-1 here in this at-bat. Diddy Farrell fouls this one all the way over into the parking lot. And this one, unfortunately, knocked a fan. Hopefully they're okay down that third base line. Diddy Farrell faces the 0-2 count. Swing and a miss, drop third strike. Got to make a play. Toss down to first in time for the third out of the inning. Diddy Farrell goes down swinging. Nice concentration from Morrison to Diebel to toss it down and give Prisbicki his first strikeout of the afternoon. Score stays 8-1 favoring Macomb as we charge on here in Jackson, right here in Region 12. Dom Cavassini pinch hitting right now for Macomb. He's into the game for the first time here this afternoon. Still facing on the mound more from Cuyahoga. The 0-0 pitch into the zone for strike one on Cavassini. Dom Cavassini stands 5'8", sophomore, native of Sterling Heights, Michigan. Henry Ford High School graduate. This pitch down low into the dirt for ball one. Count evens up. One is foul tipped back by Cavassini. So far this year, on base percentage, 41%, the 1-2 outside. Count goes even. Vito Zito has been pinch hit by Dom Cavassini. The 2-2 pitch to Cavassini is grounded over to second. Jones making the toss to Gallagher at first. One up, one down.
Second baseman, number 50, Brett Leonard.
Brett Leonard up to the plate now as the righty stands tall for the Monarchs. And game 2 of 3 today will be Kellogg and Grand Rapids. This pitch chopped down the third base line. Taylor Falls making to look like he's throwing over there out of the dugout, but decides to toss it back inside. The 0-1 is popped high into the air by Leonard. Out of play. Count goes 0-2 on the 9-hole hitter. 0-2 pitch incoming from Moore. This one fades low. This 8-1 lead for Macomb has stayed steady here as Leonard unloads into this one, into foul territory parking lot, bouncing around on the concrete. No harm to any of the vehicles over there in the left-hand side parking lot. At least no initial harm on any of the vehicles in the parking lot over next to left field. Swing and a miss, drop third strike, tagged him out. Brett Leonard goes down swinging. There's now 2 away here in this inning. Up to the plate for the 4th time in this game already is Marwin Matthews Jr. Reached on an error in his first at-bat and a couple of ground outs since, and that's where we stand right now for Matthews as Macomb's batted around 3 times. Moore's 60th pitch of the afternoon, fouled off by Marwin Matthews. Matthews, batting .409 on the year, leads this team in batting average. Peyton Rich on deck for Macomb Community College. No balls, 2 strikes. Matthews, a hard grounder off the base of second. This one's going to bounce into the outfield, and Matthews will stay put at first. And some ball bouncing luck for the leadoff man, MMJ, as he gets on base here in the 5th.
Number 21, Peyton Rich.
Peyton Rich up now. Couple of singles and a ground out. His day's been productive so far at the plate. Macomb now has 8 hits on the afternoon compared to Cuyahoga's 4. Each team has recorded an error. Problem for the Triceratops, they've left 7 on base here through 5. Pitch now sits 0-1 from Moore. 45 of his 62 pitches have been productive, and he's been a solid arm in relief after Ryan Torok was on the struggle bus to begin this one. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count now on Peyton Rich. 340 hitter, righty into the lineup for the Monarchs. Moore taking his time. Toss back to first. Getting back there safely is Matthews. Moore winds and fires. The runner decides to go. The gun down to second. Got him! True Benner to Jones. The 1-2 punch here in the 5th inning gets Matthews trying to sneak his way to second base, and the inning is over. We progress to the top of the 6th here in Jackson as Tri-C's bats are trying to get going to shrink this deficit that sits at 8-1. We'll be back with more in a moment. This is the Region 12 Baseball Tournament. Defensive change here in this inning for the Monarchs. Dom Cavassini replaced Vito Zito in the batting order, and now defensively as well, as he trotted out to left field and now play out there for the Monarchs. 8-1 the score here in the 6th inning. Run rules 10 after 5 and 8 after 7. We'll see if Macomb can build their lead in the next inning. But as of now, it sits 8-1 with a big cut and a miss. Frisbicki is dealing. 0-1, fouled back into the netting, rattling the camera on that one right there. We will fix that momentarily for you folks. 0-2 pitch. Fouled off, over the netting, out of play, and into the road. Most movement that camera has seen so far here in this tournament. That one was absolutely heated towards the net. Pitch misses, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Debo, Leonard, Matthews, Miller around the hole for MCC. Two-two pitch just misses the zone and loads the count up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here in Jackson, 8-1 the score. Swing and a miss. Jackson Bulls goes down swinging for the 2nd straight at bat. Frisbicki got him down on strikes. Brings up Jacob Jones. Singled in his first at bat, grounded out in his second. Looks to get Cuyahoga going here in his 3rd. First pitch into the zone for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Frisbicki's pitch shows bunt, but this one trickles foul. Knocked off the grass and bounced to the left. Count now 0-2 as Jacob Jones is going to have to protect here. The righty up to the plate now with 1 away. And now there's 2 outs in this inning. And it brings up Braden for
number 48, Braden Bortnick.
Braden Bortnick now. Number 48 chops this one foul. 12:45 the current time here in Jackson. Next game slated to start at 2:30. We'll do that regardless unless this one goes long, which means that it will happen 30 minutes after the conclusion of the game here between the Monarchs and the Triceratops. 0-2 count to Bortnick. Ball down in the dirt from Frisbicki. Nash Dredger in the on-deck spot right now for the Triceratops. 2 outs here in this inning. Count goes even at 2-2. Monarchs have been in control here in this game. This one flied out to right center field. Looking at it and making the catch out there in right is Zach Grindy. Moved over from his right field spot into right center. Corrals the ball, pulls it in, and records the 3rd out of the inning. 8-1 the score, still favoring Macomb. Monarchs, if they can get a couple more runs on the board, will emerge victorious here in Jackson. Bottom of the 6th coming up next. Macomb Community College, Cuyahoga Community College, Triceratops, and Monarchs here in Region 12. Peyton Rich up to the plate now for the Monarchs as they lead 8-1 here in Jackson. Jack Vohwinkle here covering the Region 12 tournament to bring you all the action live from the home of the Jets. Macomb is currently in their 4th trip through the order. That pitch hits the zone for strike 2 from Moore. David Moore in relief. Has worked now pretty solidly for Cuyahoga. +60 pitches for Moore and counting. The 0-2 flied out to center field. Tracking towards it, trying to make the catch was Ross. He could not get a hold of it, and it's going to be extra bases. Trotting on down to the second base bag and scubaing his way is Peyton Rich.
Right fielder, number 5, Zach Grindy.
Zach Grindy up to the plate now for Monarchs. Rich is into second safely, and there's a runner in scoring position with nobody gone here in this inning. This one foul tipped back into the netting behind home plate. Oh, 1 count. Fouled away. This time opposite, almost hit a walking fan again on that left-hand side sidewalk. 0-2 the count now against Zach Grindy. Runner on second base, nobody gone. This pitch high. Count now sits 1-2 on the right fielder for Macomb. Walked in his first at bat. As he grounds this one, a chopper to the third baseman, mishandled off the toe. Trying to corral it is Jones at second, but nonetheless, Zach Grindy gets aboard here for Macomb. And with the 8-1 lead, there's now 2 runners on, nobody gone here for the Monarchs. Aiden Miller steps up to the plate now for MCC, the 22nd ranked team in the land. Well, the ranked team in this tournament, the top-ranked, top-seeded, top dogs, Kellogg Bruins, playing next. Macomb dugout getting fired up here in the 6th inning. First pitch down low, 4, ball 1. And the run rule is 10 after 5. So for all intensive purposes, the 11th run of the game right now for Macomb could come off the bat of Aiden Miller. Counts now 2-0 on to Aiden Miller. Miller walked, singled, and had a triple in his last 3 at-bats. He put some power into this one, flying it high into the air to center field. Underneath it, making the catch to record the out, is Ross. The throw into the infield to keep the runners held up at their respective bases. Now Evan Morrison steps up to the plate here for Macomb, the catcher today for the Monarchs. Walked in his first plate appearance, doubled in his second, and drove home a run on a sacrifice fly in his third. Monarchs trying to move on in this double elimination Region 12 tournament. First pitch of the at-bat from Moore is outside for ball one. Monarchs getting fired up. The 1-0, driven high into the air, deep to right field, backtracking, making the grab just in front of the warning track is Diddy Farrell. Runner will advance from second to third. He did indeed tag up. Jones checking with the umpire to make sure that he successfully did. Now there's runners at the corners with 2 away for Macomb. A deep fly ball off the bat of Evan Morrison. Taking their time now. Play will resume here at Jackson College. And the Monarchs enter this game 36-15 overall. NJCAA East outright champions for the first time since 1987. Trying to find that sustained success here in the postseason. This pitch goes low for ball two. Moore winds the arm. The 2-0 is fouled off by Buster DeBull. DeBull, 3 RBIs here today. Drove in a run in his first at-bat, then had that 2-out, 2 RBI single in his second at-bat. Struck out in his third. Now here we are in his 4th appearance at the dish so far this game. The 2-1 in the zone to even things up. Buster's not happy about that call. Nonetheless, the count goes even. The 2-2. Chopped foul. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a 7-run game favoring the Monarchs. The pitch fouled off again. Seventh pitch of the at-bat right here. Incoming from Moore. Winds the arm, fires. This one's gonna get down in the gap. 1 run will score for the Monarchs. Trotting towards third safely is Grindy. And Buster DeBull gets on base for the 3rd time in 4 tries in this game. Drives home a run and makes the score 9-1, favoring the Monarchs. 2 runs away from sending this thing to the final score. DeBull's 4th RBI of the day. So now it brings up to the plate for the Monarchs. Lachlan Stout takes that pitch in the zone for a strike. A 1 pitch from Moore inside to Stout, evens things up. Runners at the corners for Macomb. And if they hold Cuyahoga to the singular run that they have right now, 2 more runs for the Monarchs will seal it. The pitch, grounded foul. Lachlan Stout, the center fielder here today. Batting .278 on the campaign, coming in to the contest. Faced the 1-2 count and trying to protect or put this ball in play. This one well above his head. Taking a duck is Lachlan Stout. Count goes even. Morse thrown 82 pitches and counting here in relief. Here in the 6th inning, the 2-2 swung on, chopped, first baseman tracking, making the play is Gallagher. And Lachlan Stout frustrated with that at-bat, as he could have put it into play and made this one dicey for the Triceratops. Nonetheless, 1 run does come home for Macomb in the inning. 9-1 the score, still favoring the Monarchs. When we return, the Cuyahoga Bats are up next.
Number 26.
Up to the plate now for Cuyahoga to try to keep them afloat is Nash Drenger. Left fielder today for the Triceratops. 3 more outs and no more runs surrendered by the Monarchs will be all she wrote for Macomb Community College as they can seal the deal here in this 7th inning. Prisbicki still on the mound in relief. This one lifted high into the air to right field. Tracking, and this one bounces down in the warning track and off the wall. Grindy could not control the flight of that ball in the air. Lost track of it, and it bounces down for a leadoff double in the inning for Nash. Jameer Ross up to the plate now for the Triceratops. Number 4, making his 4th plate appearance of this afternoon's contest. 9-1 the score, favoring Macomb. First pitch of this at-bat in the zone, rides the line for strike 1. Jameer Ross trying to get things going. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Quickly down 0-2's got to protect here against Prisbicki. The 0-2 fades low in the dirt from 45 in white. Brendan Prisbicki, one of 2 pitchers used here today by Macomb. No more action in the pen right now for the Monarchs. He replaced Greg Burns, who pitched well, 7 strikeouts through 4 innings of work for Burns. The freshman dealt nicely. Prisbicki's looked good in relief. Now they're 3 outs away from securing the victory here in their first game of the tournament. And the winner of this game advances to play tomorrow at 11 a.m. against the winner of Kellogg and Grand Rapids. A chopper grounder to second. Leonard throw to D-Bull at first in time. Lead runner advances to third, though. And so with 1 away, the Triceratops trying to keep themselves alive here in Jackson.
Number 9, Nate Hill.
Nate Hill up to the plate now for the Triceratops. Struck out in his first at-bat, flew out in his second, reached on an error in his third, and now is up to the plate for the 4th time for the Black and Teal. Swing and a miss right there from Nate Hill. Lefty in this order. Leads the team in power, slugging percentage, and home runs. Lifts this one high into the air, but fouled away. One, two, the count now on Nate Hill. Przybicki's pitch inside to even the count up at 2 apiece. 60 degrees has been reached here in Jackson, Michigan. The 2-2 pitch. Did he go? He did not go. Held up the swing, and the count goes full. Nate Hill checks swing and now takes ball 4 to get a board here in this inning. He's got to be thankful for that call because that looked, for all intensive purposes, like that bat went over the plate. Nonetheless, next pitch goes low, and he takes his free pass to first base. Vinny Gallagher up to the plate now. Walked in his first at-bat, struck out in his second, flew out in his third. Trying to keep the Triceratops alive. The 0-0 is grounded into left field for a base hit, and Tri-C is going to get on the board. That one skirts all the way into the gap. 1 run has scored. 2 runs has scored. Hill rounds second into third and now to home, and it is a 2 RBI, 1 out double here for Vinny Gallagher. Triceratops have kept themselves afloat, as here in the 7th inning, they've been able to plate 2 home. A.J. Trobender, the catcher today for the Triceratops, has a runner on second base. The 0-0 in the zone for strike 1. Monarchs looked like they had control, but the Triceratops, in their last breath, have been able to make this game a little bit closer, as the score is now 9-3 favoring Macomb. The loser of this game still has 1 more to be played today, as this one is lifted into center field for a base hit. Stout plays the ball nicely. Throw into home is bounced around. Runner's going to able to advance to second. And A.J. Trobender into second. Sliding back into third safely is Gallagher. Macomb's got to be careful to not let the wheels sort of get turning and fall off. There's going to be a meeting of the minds at the mound here. The Triceratops have 2 aboard on second and third in a 9-3 game. No action in the pen, so this is just going to be a nice, quick conversation to get himself, Brendan Przybicki, that is, into the right headspace. Try to bounce out of this inning here with only 1 out. Triceratops have played it 2. Pinch hitter for the Triceratops, Kohan Merritt. Sophomore steps in for the first time in this game. Righty faces Przybicki here with a couple of runners in scoring position. First pitch of the at-bat for Merritt is fouled off. It's looking like the Monarchs are in the driver's seat. Cuyahoga's been able to plate a couple runs. Keep this one going. Triceratops staying afloat. Using some of that prehistoric magic to keep this game going. 9-3, still favoring Macomb. Again, Kohan Merritt, the pinch hitter for Tri-C. This pitch fades into the zone for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, the count with 1 away. Runner on second and third. Przybicki's pitch is launched into the air. Tracking towards it is Cavassini. He's able to make the grab. The throw into the infield. Cutoff man cuts it off, and Miller no throw home. And the Triceratops are able to plate one more run as the pinch hitter Kohan Merritt does his job. Brock Miller, another pinch hitter into the game for the Triceratops. Miller this season, solid bat for head coach Nick Kaplak. Batting .301 on the year. Native of Willard, Ohio, the sophomore. Righty steps in as the second straight pinch hitter for Tri-C. Trying to keep them going here in this inning as it's 9-4. Still favoring Macomb, but the Triceratops have been able to send home 3 runs here against Brendan Prisbicki. Still no action in the pen for Macomb. A couple of arms warming up on the right-hand side for Tri-C. 1-0 pitch into the zone. Two away here in this inning. On a sunny day, Thursday afternoon, this one is cranked into left center field. Going back, making the catch on the warning track successfully is Lachlan Stout. Right there to track some ground, but not before the Triceratops are able to plate 3 runs in that inning to make the score 9-4, still favoring Macomb. Monarch bats coming up next to try to bounce back when we return from this short break. David Moore still going strong here for the Triceratops. As Tri-C was able to plate 3 runs in that most recent inning to make the score 9-4. Jack Vohwinkle back here with you in Summit Township at Jackson College. Game 2 of the Region 12 tournament, game 1 of the day. This one got underway at about 11 a.m. You're now 2 hours and 12 minutes in. We've reached the bottom of the 7th inning. Looked like Macomb was in the driver's seat to potentially end this bad boy in the top of the 7th. Cuyahoga was not going anywhere. Defensive substitutions here for Cuyahoga. Nash Drenger will take his spot in center field. He's moved over from left. First pitch of the at-bat in the zone for strike 1 on number 4. A previous pinch hitter for Macomb, Cavassini. Cavassini grounds this one on the 1-hop to Jones. Throw to Gallagher in time for the first out of the inning. David Moore still working here on the mound for Tri-C. Brings up Brett Leonard. Leonard walked in his first at-bat doubled in his second and struck out in his third. He's really done it all at the plate here today for the Monarchs, both good and bad. The 0-0 grounded up the middle for a base hit to center field. He continues his diverse day at the plate with a base knock into center. He's now walked, doubled, struck out, and singled in 4 appearances so far here today. Brings up for the 5th time Marwin Matthews Jr., best contact hitter in this lineup, the shortstop for the Monarchs. He still faces more now for the 3rd time in this game. Marwin Matthews Jr. has a runner on first base in Brett Leonard. Umpire calls time. Play resumes momentarily as an automatic ball has been enforced here against Moore. 2 balls, no strikes. The count on Marwin Matthews. Watches this pitch. Fade into the zone for strike 1. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped into the infield by Marwin Matthews, but it's just going to trickle foul. Kellogg Bruins and the Grand Rapids Raiders warming up now here for Game 2 of this afternoon fiasco of baseball in Summit Township. Kellogg entering the game as the #1 ranked team in the country. Must be something about that Bruin nickname. UCLA, the top of the Division I NCAA baseball standings. Of course, the Bruins out in Westwood, leading the Big Ten Conference and the national rankings. And now Kellogg doing the same with the same nickname at this level. Marwin Matthews fouls the 2-2 over to the third base line. Monarchs trying to play a couple runs together. Potentially end this thing early. Had a chance to do that in the pitching, but Prisbicki was bid on by a couple of Triceratops. This one mishandled at third by Hill. Could not get a good glove on it, and it's going to be Marwin Matthews Jr. reaching base for the 2nd time in this game. And Matthews, no hits today, but 2 base appearances for him, both off of fielding errors. So a very unconventional path to the bases for Marwin Matthews Jr. Best hitter in terms of total average in this lineup. Reaches base twice today, both on errors. Running up towards it and making the grab, diving in left for Tri-C. What an effort out there by #4, Jameer Ross. Ross and Drenger have switched places. Of course, now Ross making that most recent catch and left. Gallagher, Jones, Bortnick, and Hill still the infield for Tri-C. Moore at the mound. Zach Grindy at the plate. The 0-0 in the zone for strike 1. Grindy walked in his first at-bat, grounded out in his second, reached on a fielder's choice in his third, and reached on an error in his fourth. 3 errors today for Cuyahoga, 2 for the Monarchs. 11 total hits for Macomb, 7 for the Triceratops. Count now sits 1-1 against Zach Grindy, who lines this one up the middle into center field for a base hit. Rounding third is #50, Brett Leonard. The throw to the plate is not in time. He's in there safely standing, and Macomb has double-digit runs here in the game as they lead 10-4. Nice piece of hitting right there from Zach Grindy to get himself on base and drive home Leonard. It's now a 6-run lead for the Monarchs. The 100th pitch for Moore is incoming in this at-bat. 71 strikes have been thrown for the man in relief. He's gone a long, long time. A chopper to the shortstop. Toss over to first in time. Bortnick able to fire it over to Gallagher to end this inning, but not before Macomb's able to plate one run. They now have a 10-4 advantage heading in to the next inning. When we return, we'll have more baseball from Region 12 right here. Back here in Jackson, 10-4 the score. Of course, favoring the Macomb Monarchs over Cuyahoga. Up to the plate for the Triceratops is Jacob Jones. Still facing Brendan Prisbicki, the pitcher for the Monarchs, on the mound. His first pitch of the at-bat winds its way into the zone for strike one. This game was flying along, and it's kind of hit a little bit of a time standstill here. Started at 11 a.m., now up to 1:21 p.m. time here in Jackson. Next game starting half an hour after or at 2:30. Pitch is lined and flied out to left field. Lined out to right field, excuse me, pardon me, folks. Grindy able to make the catch. Brings up Braden Bortnick now, the man at the dish for the Triceratops. Bortnick playing short today for Tri-C. Pitch in the zone for the first strike of the at-bat from Prisbicki. Second pitch, high and inside for ball one. Count goes even. Prisbicki, a quick wind and fire. This one grounded down the third base line, and it is going to stay fair. Extra bases attempt for Bortnick, and he's into second safely with a stand-up double with one away here in the eighth. Triceratops just do not go away. Nash Drenger up to the plate now for Tri-C, trying to add to Cuyahoga's comeback effort. At one point down 9-1. Now it's 10-4 here in the top of the eighth inning. One ball, no strikes. Here the count from Prisbicki. This pitch into the zone for strike one. Runner on second is Bortnick, thanks to that double he had moments ago. Drenger doubled in his last at-bat as well. The count now sits 2-1. Here to the Triceratops Now center fielder, started the day in left, did Nash Strenger. Him and Ross have switched positions in the outfield. 3-1 pitch, grounded over to first. Play made successfully by D-Bull. Puts the foot on the bag to record the out. Runner does advance, though. There's now 2 outs for Cuyahoga. Jameer Ross is up to the plate for the teal and black. The 0-0 pitch inside. Shifting out of the way is Jameer Ross to avoid that one. Strikeout, a walk, a fly out, and a ground out. From at bat 1 through 4 respectively for Jameer Ross. A chopper up the middle. Matthews fields it. D-Bull makes the play. Monarchs able to get out of the inning. Cuyahoga strands a runner on third, and we advance to the bottom of the 8th. We'll be back with more Region 12 baseball coverage after these.
She ain't coming tonight, you going solo. Cut her off when she talks some noise, you know you got the right to get your party on. Get your haircut and your car wash too, looking like a star in your almighty suit. You need to let the rest, cause you're turning heads tonight. You're gonna find a sexy chick out that's on dance all night. You wanna
Moore still working on the mound for Tri-C. He's thrown 100 pitches in relief here this afternoon as we are in the bottom of the 8th. 72 pitches of those said 100 have been strikes. Pitch 101 outside for ball 1 here against the lefty in Evan Morrison. Catcher today for Macomb. Walked in his first at-bat, doubled in his second, sac fly RBI in his third, and a casual fly out to right field in his fourth. Morrison looks on the 2-0. This pitch misses down low for ball 3. Now a hole to climb out of here if you are Moore on the mound. David Moore winds the arm, fires the pitch, and it's in the zone for strike 1. Three 3-1 pitch from Moore, swung on and missed. Count goes full. Back to back. Solid arm throws from Moore. Now the count has loaded up, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Macomb leads 10-4. At one point was up 9-1 in the 6th. This pitch grounded over to second. Jones fielding, making the play. Out number 1 has been recorded. And that brings up Buster D-Bull, who's had himself a fantastic day at the plate. Reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat that did, in fact, drive home a run. It chose to get the guy out at second base instead. His second at-bat was a 1-out, 2 RBI single. His third at-bat was a strikeout, and his fourth at-bat was an RBI as well. This one lifted into the air. One hopper to the second baseman. Underhand toss to first. In time, Jones to Gallagher for the second out of the inning. Macomb going down quickly here against Moore. Warming up in the pen for Macomb, Connor Hayden and Connor O'Neill. A couple of Connors getting things loose in the pen for the Monarchs. With a 6-run lead here, trying to protect it. Right now it is Moore still wheeling and dealing for Tri-C. Loads this one up, fires it home. And Lachlan Stout watches it go right by for strike one. Two away here in this inning. Moore, the delivery. Stout grounds it up the middle. Nice glove on the mound. Throw to first in time to Gallagher. 3 up, 3 down in that inning as we will move to the top of the ninth. Back with more baseball in a moment. Region 12 action right here in Summit Township. Back here in Jackson, 10-4 the score, favoring Macomb, and a new arm on the mound trying to close the door and seal the deal for the Monarchs. The new arm in question is Connor Hayden, the 6'2 sophomore from South Lyon, Michigan. Comes into this game with an ERA of 4.85. 4-0 win-loss record on the year, unblemished in that category. He struck out 27 through 26 total innings of work on the 2026 campaign. Trying to will him to victory here in the ninth. This one popped up into the air, shielding the sun, trying to make the play, and it goes out of play off the roof of the dugout of the Monarchs. Connor Hayden still winding it up on the mound. Lefty deals. This one outside for ball one. Triceratops trying to stay alive with Nate Hill. Third baseman today for Tri-C. Foul tips this one back, and he's down to his last strike. 3 outs to go for Macomb. In this game 1 of 3 here on this Thursday afternoon. Wind and fire, the 1-2 is in the zone. He got him looking. Nate Hill watches it fly right by. 1 up, 1 down, 1 gone here for Connor Hayden. Lefty found his footing on that pitch. Making some moves here, and it brings up number 5, Vinny Gallagher, who whiffs and misses at the first pitch of the at-bat. Cuyahoga trying to stay alive in this game. Popped out to left field, running underneath it, making the diving effort is Cavassini, and he cannot get there. Sliding into second safely is Gallagher. A lot of ground to cover for the left fielder of the Monarchs to try to make that play. Could not get there. Triceratops stay alive for now. That'll bring up A.J. Trobenner, the catcher. Lefty steps up to the plate for the Triceratops. Runner at second base. For Tri-C, trailing by 6. The pitch. Lifted into center field. Running underneath it, making the easy routine fly ball catch is Stout. And there is now 2 away, and Tri-C is down to their last 3 strikes here in this game. Loser of this game plays tonight at 6 p.m. Winner advances to play the winner of Kellogg and Grand Rapids tomorrow at 11 a.m. First pitch of the at-bat in the zone for strike 1. Connor Hayden, third pitcher used today by the Monarchs. Lefty in relief here. 9th inning work. This pitch finds its way into the zone for another strike. Hayden is dealing so far in this at-bat in the 9th. The pitch fouled down the first base line. It's going to stay fair. Nice effort, though, by the first baseman in D. Bull. And that is all she wrote for this first game on Thursday. The Monarchs get the 10-4 victory over the Triceratops and advance to play the winner of Kellogg and Grand Rapids tomorrow. We will see Cuyahoga later this afternoon/evening as they will take on Henry Ford College at 6 p.m. We will be back at 2:30 to see the number 1 ranked Bruins take on GRCC in the second game of our 3-game set here in Jackson. My name has been Jack Vohwinkle, and thanks so much for sticking around all game long. We'll see you in about an hour, right here.
So better lay low, scheming on hot money in the whole shit. The low throw hoe should be cut like an afro. So what you saying, huh? She's winning